TIFU by not realizing cheese isn't supposed to hurt you. I guess this is 3 decades in the making, but I only discovered it Saturday, so it feels like a very fresh FU. This weekend I was eating a sandwich with some extra sharp Parmigiano Reggiano cheese flakes on it, and I made the comment over voice chat with my friends that it was so good but so sharp it was tearing up my mouth. I had a momentary pause before a chorus of puzzled friends chimed in at the same time to ask me to elaborate. You know, it's extra sharp. It really cuts and burns my gums and the roof of my mouth. And that's when my friends informed me that none of them have this reaction, and furthermore, no one has this reaction. I hear several keyboards going at once with people having alt-tabbed to Google around, and our best WebMD style guess is that I have an allergic reaction to some histamines common in sharp cheeses, and that I've had this reaction for 30 years, and that I always assumed everyone had it. What the hell do you mean when you call it a sharp cheese if that's not what you're talking about? I figured the mild sharp spectrum for cheeses was like the mild hot spectrum for spicy foods. I love spicy foods. I love sharp cheeses. I thought they were the same kind of thing where they were supposed to hurt you a little bit. Apparently sharp just means flavorful or tangy. Doctor, I have an allergy to some cheese protein, and for 30 years I've been thinking that sharp cheese is supposed to sting. Similarly, but not quite as unique, I went years wondering why I was getting frequent stomach aches that just seemed to get worse as I got older. Turns out I'm slowly becoming intolerant to dairy, but I didn't figure that out until I drank a giant glass of milk and my boyfriend suggested that my subsequent stomach pain was due to lactose sensitivity. Felt kinda dumb after that, but my stomach doesn't hurt anymore. Lol. You are my husband. Was so proud of being the only person in his Asian family that wasn't lactose intolerant. Then one day, shortly after we got hitched, he told me to stay out of the bedroom for a while because he had the farts, you know, from when you drink a big glass of milk. No honey, I don't know. For 18 years I thought real-life rainbows were just the 2 colors, blue and yellow, because that's all I could ever see. My mother once pointed one out saying, "Wow, look at that rainbow, you can really see all the colors." Meanwhile I'm looking at it, corroborating her observation by responding with, "Yup, all 2 colors." That's when we realized the severity of my red-green deficiency. So I have an onion allergy. I found this out after all my life I felt like the onion taste would physically hurt my mouth cause it was so sharp, until I sucked it up and ate an onion pie my roomie made for us, and my entire throat started swelling up and I got difficulties breathing. My mom had a bit of a guilty conscience after forcing me to eat onions all my childhood. Onion pie? Excuse me, I need to go Google a recipe to prank my sister with. She loves the French meat pie I make. I'll just tell her I'm making a new version. This is impressive. Similar story, my sister had always been obsessed with getting the best TV resolution possible, always getting the latest thing. At 28 she finally went to an optometrist who determined she actually has terrible vision. When I asked, she said she just thought everything was kind of blurry for everyone. Edit, 9k upvotes and an inbox that has been brutalized. Obviously need to share more silly stories about my sister. Also learned a significant portion of Reddit has bad eyesight. I had a friend like that too. He was a couple of years younger than me and was getting ready to start learning to drive. We got talking about what the test involved, and I mentioned there was a sight test. I told him you had to read the license plate of a car from a certain distance. I pointed at a car across the road, just to show him how easy it was and not a big deal. He squinted at it for a moment and then asked, "What, that one? Right over there? How are you supposed to read that?" Turned out, he had really bad distance vision and hadn't ever realized. After 26 years on this planet, this year I discovered that it was in fact very weird doing on average 200 to 300 farts per day, and having countless nights of awful stomach pains after having milk or eggs. I did an intolerance test to discover I was very allergic to them both. A few weeks after cutting them from my diet, my tiny little mind was blown into pieces when I realized I was averaging 3 farts a day. Mental. That's a fart once every 5 minutes. TIFU by breathing with one nostril my whole life. So let me give some context on how this happened. A while ago I tried out an e-cig my friend has and he made fun of how smoke only goes out of one of my nostrils. I didn't think much of it. I thought it's just a stuffed nose. So I tried to clean my nose and it's already not stuffed, but yet again I didn't put much thought into it. Yesterday I noticed that my right nostril is blocked again and my nose isn't stuffed, so I go look in the mirror to see that my right nostril is completely blocked by my septum. I took a doctor appointment the next morning and as soon as he looked in he said I have septum deviation caused by breaking my nose at some point in my life when I was a kid and that it needed surgery. Can't believe I've went for God knows how many years without realizing I wasn't breathing correctly and thinking that this was the norm. Surgery is within 24 hours, so yeah. This escalated quickly. TL, drive. I'm stupid and didn't realize my right nostril was blocked off by my septum for years. I was scheduled to have septoplasty for the same thing you're describing. I broke my nose in college and had a 76 to 80 blockage of one nostril. For surgery I was playing with my daughter and she accidentally kicked my nose upward. It shoved the septum almost completely back into shape and fixed the problem. There was no pain and no blood, just a little numbness for a few days. The doctor said it was a 1 in a million thing, but I'll send her over if you'd like. I had this surgery at 16. No broken nose or anything, I was born with a banana up nose apparently. After it healed, the first time I breathed through my left nostril, in my life, ever, was a weird, cold feeling. I don't think I can describe it adequately. But now I no longer snore. Let me tell you though, the after surgery healing sucks. Ever sneezed and sprayed an entire hospital room with blood at midnight? Nurse was not happy. Ever blown your nose and had a chunk of solidified blood, snot and bits of bone, the size of your pinky, fly out of your nose? Hope you're up for new experiences. I had to do twice daily sinus rinse, basically neti pot, for 3 months. Years later, I would move my head to one side and feel and taste a small trickle of saline neti pot water. Have fun. Not kidding, totes worth it in the end mate. I know it's gross and probably didn't feel too great, but blowing your nose and having that chunk come out sounds kinda satisfying. Breathtaking. And so begins the day of Redditors everywhere looking like they're on coke checking their nostrils. TIFU by Zucchini my dad's couch. Throwaway, because I don't want to become a notorious couch butternut on Reddit. This happened last week on Saturday, because Saturday and Sunday is my father's custody time for me. Saturday is also my dad's day off from his steel delivery job, but it all started when my dad got called into work for a few hours because some guy had called off sick and he had to fill for him. This made me think about all the possible, private, things I could do to anything around the house. Then I saw the $700 leather couch. I executed my plan. Materials needed, dish soap, a couch, and rags. I started with the dish soap, applying it to the creases within the leather couch. Then, I put rags under the area of attack to prevent drippage. Then, the couch zucchini commenced. Let me tell you, it was pretty coconut good for the about amount of virgin I am, and there was no turning back. Another detail about my dad getting called into work is that I was inside the couch about 2 to 3 hours after he left. On a usual workday, he gets off at 3:30, but arrives home at 4. Not today. He left at 9:30 AM for work, and I was doing the dirty at like 12 PM, which I felt was an appropriate time because he supposedly wasn't supposed to come home for another 3 to 4 hours. Then it happened. The couch is about 10 feet from the front door, and within eyesight. Here is a very crude drawing of the living room. I heard the deadbolt jiggling and my heart went down my throat. The butternut turns, and the door opens to reveal a butternut naked me, balls deep in his very expensive and luxury couch. He gave me a stare that could kill 20 men and mouthed the words, "What the zucchini are you doing?" I couldn't decide what to do, so I just put my clothes on and started cleaning right there with the rags I stuffed in the couch, while saying very quietly sorry to the power of S, sorry to the power of S, sorry. He walked back out, but before he shut the door, he said, "Don't clean that." I'm throwing it away. now. The rest of the day was extremely awkward. Couch behind us while we sat on table chairs, while we watched TV and not saying anything to each other. Doctor, coconut my dad's couch with some soap and he came home earlier than expected. Edit, typo. Edit no. 2, holy zucchini y'all blew this up. I really appreciate the gold, regardless if this is a throwaway or not. My couch zucchini earned me $1 and I'm proud. Congratulations /you/I fucked my dad's couch. This post has been chosen as the fuck up of the week. He's not saying anything now, but in 10 years your dad will bring that up every time you bring a girlfriend home. As is his right. Next time I buy a couch Lamau. If you're looking for a movie to watch together to break the awkwardness, don't choose American Pie. You know that those obscene crimes where people are murdered by their own family, by their own loved one and there is no rhyme or reason to it? This is the kind of butternut that we don't hear about. The hidden secret that only the killer knows. This could easily have been a story about a quiet boy who went crazy one day and killed his loving dad for no apparent reason. I was thinking the air way around. Like he had to get rid of his son to prevent those faulty genes from going any farther. You can use a throwaway all you want, but your dad still saw you coconut a couch.